There is nothing more obvious to me than that happiness starts with accountability. My life is happy because I think everything in my life is my fault. All of it. It is the most liberating truth of all time. Of course, I'm logically understanding that there's other people, that there's other variables, that there's things I don't control, but I'm completely in control to what I do. How many people here have employees? Raise your hand. Raise your hands higher. Employees. Here's my favorite one about people that employ people. They're the boss. They have employees. They sit around and complain about their employees 24/7 or often, and they're in control of firing them. Fire them. Yeah. By the way, you know what was the best part of that line? None of the bosses wanted to clap. We suck currently at accountability. We suck at it. And for a lot of people here, it's the answer to the trivia question. When you actually understand it, it's actually fundamentally true. You are capable of doing anything. You are capable of firing your employees. You are capable of breaking up in your relationship. You are capable of moving to another town, another country. You are capable of selling your home and downgrading your home to a smaller home so you're always not tight on money. You are capable of all of it. But we don't like that. We like to blame all our problems on Putin. Bad day at work? Fucking Putin. Bad day at home? Facebook. The algorithm and the dictators are not impacting your day-to-day anywhere close to what you've decided your lack of accountability is dictating. This is a very focal point of the conversation. We must understand this. Everything you talk about, gratitude, empathy, kindness, all things that I live on, they all come from me thinking everything's my fault. They all come from me knowing I have control. Everybody, when they get into the accountability and control game, immediately, much of this audience starts thinking to the counterpoint. They immediately start thinking to the counterpoint. The natural human spirit for most people, when told everything is your fault, you are in control of everything, will start giving you 800 answers to why that's not true for them. And that's how they're missing the point. When I brought up earlier, if you are tight on money and you own a home, sell your home and live in a shittier home. Do you know how many people do that on earth? No one. Do you know how logical what I just said is? You are tight on cash, you are really struggling. You own a fairly nice home and your mortgage situation, you have an asset. And you will not sell it to live in a lesser home because you worry about what people think about that move. My favorite chess move to this debate is like, but Gary, I can't do that to my kids. My counterpoint is, that's the best shit you can do for your kids. One of the biggest elephants in the room in our entire world, this is an American, a German, a South African, this is a global, one of the great things of having fans everywhere in the world and reading all the DMs, it's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. Of course, there's massive cultural differences, and it's interesting because you have to really do the work, but it all, when you file it down, when you bake it, when you melt it, it's all the same shit. It's cultural up here, but you just keep blending it, it's all the same here. And when I tell you, when I say moving to a lesser nice house and giving your kids some adversity is the best thing, the elephant in the world, the elephant not in the room, The elephant in the world today is for the last 30 years, it became popular culture to raise our children and do everything we could to demonize losing and protect them from literally everything, thus creating 20 and 30-year-olds who are basically zoo animals. We kept them in the zoo, and then we tell them to go into the wild, and then a fucking lion eats them in an hour. And my favorite part of the whole thing that I'm watching is you have people in their 50s, the boomers, and older Gen X, my crew, by the way, which nobody talks about as if Gen X doesn't exist. It's just millennial and boomers are like, yo, what the fuck, we're here. You have boomers, the people that I love young millennials and Gen Z. I think they just understand they have way more options, and I think people shit on them. I do think that we did wrong by them. I do think that they shouldn't blame their parents because that lacks accountability. There's a lot to this, but let me say this. The funniest shit of the whole thing is we are watching boomers run around the world shitting on these kids when they're the ones who fucking parented them. They're like, Gary, I had a friend the other day, he's like, Gary, my kid is like, can't fuck, like he's a mess, like he's like scared of everything. I'm like, that's because you gave him a trophy when his team came in 8th fucking place. Now, it's super fun to laugh at the kids. Let me promise, including myself, every person in this arena has a version of that in them as well. This is a game of insecurity. Of course you're insecure at 28 years old when your parents' behavior their whole life showed you that they didn't believe that you could. They didn't believe that you could. You start believing that you can't either. If they're protecting you in every step of the way, they're telling you, I don't think you can do it. Thus, you believe it. We have that as 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds. I know this because what I do for a living is read what people say at a scale that would make this collective room's head spin. It's what I do for a living. 6, 7, 8 hours a day, I'm consuming ungodly amounts of information on how people are reacting to things, what they think, what they believe. And then I go deeper into my own content and other content that I see behind the scenes on. The world is this close to being happy, and it feels like it's this close from being happy. And this is why I'm so motivated. I'm so motivated because almost everybody is sitting around dinner tables saying dumb shit like, it's never been this bad. I don't need to remind anybody in this room, it's been worse. This world is actually dangerously close. It is. It's one of those things where, it's like so many stories and so many things in life where it seems so far away, but it was right there. The reason I get inspired to take overnight red-eye flights to an event like this is a lot of people that know it's this close. This is a lot of people that decide on a weekend that they want to commit to making themselves happier for themselves, the people around them, and the people that they're bringing into the world. It is actually scary how many people are this close. The part that's left is we have to talk about the shit that people don't want to talk about. It's fun to talk about the foofy stuff. It's not fun to say everything you're upset about is 100% your fault. It's awesome to think about you putting in the commitment to give a fuck to come to something like this on a Saturday. It's not as fun to say, what the fuck are you doing here on a Saturday? Do you understand? Let me say it again. It is awesome that you are making the commitment to be here on a Saturday. The bigger question is, why are you here? The reason is every piece of the puzzle is not there yet. The missing piece of the puzzle is not the stuff that you hear every day, the stuff you think about every day. If it would be, it'd be done. The missing part is the part that you're not willing to look at yourself in the mirror for.